Hi. Today I'd like to talk a little bit about optimism. Optimism is something that we all know when we see it. If somebody is optimistic, they have a different viewpoint on life, different view of the world usually, and when they're dealing with trials, challenges in life, they look at things differently. They have a positive outlook. Um, and that's something that I think is extremely important when it comes to how you look at things and how you move forward in life. There was a time in my life. I mean, actually, well, there are always challenges. I had a stretch in my life that was truly overwhelming. Unexpected career change, serious health issue. With systemic scleroderma, where thought the 50% chance I wouldn't survive 5 years. That was 8 years ago. Um, had financial stress, a ton of marital stress, and I can go on and on and on. And all of that led to a lot of depression, which for most people dealing with a lot of big obstacles, that's understandable to feel depressed, whether it be dealing with a loss of a loved one or a serious change in life. There are losses, there are ambiguous losses. There's so many different layers. But what's important is the outlook. And sometimes it's easy to feel beaten down by circumstances and to start falling into a negative point of view on life. And I know there was a stretch where I was looking at things rather negatively and just thought, oh wow, yeah, things are not good. And and then somewhere along the line, I made some conscious choices to make changes. Now, years back, I used to work in brain injury, and what I would see is that if a person believed they would get better, and if they were told they will get better if they work at things, usually they would get better. If they were told, if people told them that, yeah, you're as good as you'll get, and they believe that, they would not improve. And this is, it's kind of, if you take that approach in life, if you believe, well, things are horrible and they're always going to remain horrible, well, guess what? Chances are they're going to. If you believe that things have the possibility of getting better, and you believe they will, more than likely they will. A lot of times people hear the idea of is the glass half empty or half full? So, and here I've got a big wine glass just for visual. Now, um, unfortunately, not wine. I just put water in there. But so somebody would say an optimist is a person who says this is half full, and a pessimist is somebody who says it's half empty. I take it another step, and it's a little more philosophical. I believe that this liquid that's in here should not be defined by what contains it. It is whole and complete within itself. And that's kind of how our circumstances, when we're dealing with challenges and trials, we may feel beaten down, but we are, each and every one of us are better than our worst circumstances. And we're all going to deal with struggles, and we're going to, people will get depressed. But part of it is to change your perspective. And if you're feeling depressed, go for a walk. That's one of the first things. Try to move if you can, because that helps change your mindset a little bit. You get the blood flowing, you get oxygen going to your brain, you're looking at different things, and sometimes you start coming up with different ideas and looking at life a little differently. So that's something I believe is very, very important. Um, and to look at the future. I mean, the future is uncertain. And there are people that have overcome so many obstacles. And yes, there are some times that a person may have a serious health issue and they can't overcome it. But what I will say is that more often than not, if a person is optimistic and believes in the best possible outcome, though they may not live forever, they may not, none of us do, but they may not overcome what they're dealing with. But chances are they will live longer and better than what's expected. And that's the difference with optimists versus pessimists or cynics. Uh, so challenge yourself if you're in a difficult situation, and like I said, I know I've been there. I think a lot of us have been there. um, if you're in a difficult situation, take a few deep breaths, go for a walk, think, how can you look at it differently? For instance, for me, I've got a nasty autoimmune disease, and but I'm handling it well. And actually, I've learned to almost embrace it to some extent because I have to stay active. I have arthritis from that, and if I sit around, my arthritis gets worse. I have myositis, and my muscles will get weaker. So I have to exercise. Is that a bad thing? No, it's not. Knowing that life is short and realizing that there the importance of each moment, and not wasting time in life, um, that in and of itself is a blessing, even though it came out of a horrible thing. But to me, if I was able to be cured tomorrow, I would take the cure, but I would never lose sight of what is important and the things that I've learned. So challenge you, have a wonderful day, ponder life a little bit, try to be optimistic. Uh, Sometimes the best things might just be waiting around the corner and you don't realize it. And so if and of course, if you're in a really dark place, call a suicide helpline or that. But to me, and having been there as well, sometimes best some of the best things or the best things are yet to come, and you don't know. And so sometimes you just have to believe and hold out hope, because usually that's when God has a sense of humor, and that's usually when things happen. So anyway, have a blessed day.